So longtime viewers of the channel might be familiar with this case that we don't always start a series for an anime video game franchise with the best game. Sometimes we start it in a manner that is backwards. Sometimes it just kind of works out like that. But 9 times out of 10, trust me when I say, it's mostly a means of convenience. Like, I started doing Let's Plays of DBZ games with BT3, then I went back to BT2. In our case, I think we started with... Oh god, we already started with Power Warriors 1, but that's kind of incidental. And today we are starting the vaunted unlimited series for One Piece with World Red. You can say you can add your system now, chat. Yes, I know. We're starting with probably, well, I'm actually sure people see it as the worst one, but it definitely seems to be one of the lower ones I've seen when it comes to Metacritic scores, so I'm pretty sure I'm safe in that assessment.
This is the Jeb Bush of One Piece games.
I'm right. We're not going to ask you to please clap yet. We're going to get there. But anyway, what's up, boys and girls? Bob and Brian back with a new Let's Play for One Piece. And, well, yep, unfortunately, the reason why... Okay. Unfortunately, we are still kind of in the flux of just pulling the trigger and doing Power Warriors 3 because the HD era of One Piece games is a little bit bleak.
A bit dry.
A little bit. I'm sure Odyssey will be fun. I need to get to that. World Secret didn't leave a good impression with you. I'll just fire up myself at some point in time.
You've never gotten your hands on it. I need you to feel what I feel.
Burning Blood is...
Which is to say, holy numb.
Yeah. Burning Blood, I think, had some merits, but was held back by literally so goddamn much. And this game is... Well, there's a fucking story for this. Let me weave a tale for chat right now. So originally, this game dropped for the 3DS on November 18th, 2013, and the 3DS... Wait.
3DS.
For the 3DS in Japan. That was a Japanese release date. And now I get to tell you all the other ports. Bear with me. Came to the USDS on July 8th, 2014. Then it got PS3, Vita, and a Wii U port on June 14th, 2014 in Japan, and July 8th, 2014 in North America. Then it got Deluxe Edition of PS4 and Windows on August 24th, 2017. And then that got Switch port on September 29th, 2017. What? Okay. So...
Austin SV, where are you at? We need a port report.
This has seen maybe as many ports as Skyrim.
It's been
okay.
On,
it's not been that bad, but this has never, for what's worth, this has never been on Xbox. So
I was gonna say, barring Xbox, it's been on every single modern platform since the 3DS.
It literally is that. Now, this might seem intimidating as all get out. I don't blame you, but that's it. You can basically qualify it to 3 main releases, which is the original 3DS. Original ports to console, and then deluxe ports to consoles. But then they have like multiple sub-releases.
I still have my PS3 version up there on the shelf.
Yep. This was developed by Ganbarion, who famously did the other One Piece Grand series. I'm not kidding about that. They did Grand Battle, Grand Adventure, Unlimited Cruise, and a ton of others. Now, here's a funny thing I thought we would get to talk about. Ganbarion also... I'm probably saying that word wrong. Ganbarion also did Pandora's Tower. Yes, the Operation Rainfall game from the Wii on 2011, where a fan petition may or may not have seen Xseed Games release the game in North America. I literally never thought I'd get to talk about Operation Rainfall. Holy shit. Now, side note, we should probably get a Switch to that game because no one bought a goddamn Wii U. So, I'm just saying. It did get a Wii U digital release. I don't know why it didn't get a Switch release. Come on, guys. I would actually be interested in playing that game, personally speaking.
Which one?
Pandora's Tower.
Oh yeah, no, all 3 of those games ended up getting Wii U digital Wii releases.
Yeah.
And then Xenoblade, the one that won, has all of their games available on Switch.
Now it's just a shame that they ended up stuck on the Wii U eShop when there's a running joke that all the Wii U console has been saved and brought to the Switch. Well,
Xenoblade X got announced for Switch last week.
Was that never actually on the Switch before?
Nope.
Wow.
Xenoblade X, the actual mech one. Yep.
That genuinely consider me surprised.
I also have a Wii U copy of that up there too.
So, this is gonna be okay. Actually, yeah, you can bump it up to like 4. This is gonna be a very funny game because I guess Bob is just kind of the one helming up the quote unquote bad One Piece games. But I will say, playing this game,
you did that to yourself.
I know, right? Well, Bob's the one innovating, I guess. Now that being said, though. This has turned into not as bad of a One Piece game as I thought it was going to be. Like, I think your opinion of it is what, like maybe a 3 or a 4 at best?
The game is just boring and the controls are bad. It's not offensive. It just, to borrow an Alexism, an axiom. It puts me to sleep.
Nah, I get that. I will say, having played a lot of this game, it's left a better impression on me than I thought it was going to.
Okay, I'm sorry. The problem with this series is that their gameplay started on the Wii, and you can tell that it was meant for a controller that has only 2 buttons. When you put it on a controller that has a full slate of 16 buttons and you do nothing to add on to that, it's like, yeah, this should have been a Game Boy Advance game or something. Why did you put it on on something that has a full suite of buttons?
Yes, definitely.
It doesn't make sense to keep going with this gameplay style if you don't actually adapt the gameplay to fit around the controller.
And much like a typical 3DS game as well, only 2 save slots for you. We eventually got this in Pokemon games. Was it the Switch? Wait, was it?
They literally still have never done that. It's just on the Switch you can make multiple accounts and play on different accounts.
I thought there was a Pokemon game that gives you 2 save files. Was there
Nope.
one? Or I must be confusing it with something else then.
Unless it's like a Pokemon spin-off game, like Mystery Dungeon or some things, the answer is still no.
Weird. I thought that was a thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we will actually be doing this on New Game Plus. Now, reason for New Game Plus. 1, you actually get new boss battles that are not in the original game. Just an example, the very first stage where you're going through Punk Hazard or Retread of it, I guess, you fight Buggy. And I understand in the very last stage of the game, which is actually going up Mount Corvo, funny enough. We'll get to that. You fight Shanks. And normally you don't fight Shanks whatsoever in the main game. So kind of cool stuff. Also, you get to bypass some grinding. Very cool. And yeah, also I get to carry over all of my level progress for all our characters. So I get to show you some really cool supers and ultimates and why you generally want to use some characters. I don't think you've done your case in multiple save files. God, that's crazy. Also, man, I'm doing 13 hours. Alex?
This is not more than a 10-hour game. This is the shortest game in this series.
Okay, yeah, the 13 hours here is a misnomer. Actually, I think main story was like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's the Colosseum that has drained me of my will to live.
Oh, we're doing it.
We are. Okay,
Both runs.
Here's the thing. This game lets you do co-op for pretty much the entire game, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, I do like doing co-op. However, the split screen looks ugly as fuck, and I actually do kind of like the graphics in this game a little bit. I'm a sucker.
Oh, they look nice.
I'm a sucker for nice, the hell is it? Cell shading.
This was the first game to really pop off on it looks like Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And I mean that literally because no, this was the first game to get that art style right. And it got ported so many times that eventually this 3DS game was able to shine like Wind Waker.
So we're going to go ahead and create a new save file. You can restart the game for a higher difficulty. Now here's the thing. We will be creating a new save file. That way we don't have to worry about losing all of our stuff. I forgot to, you know what, it's fine.
What?
So I forgot to duplicate it and then make a new save file. But you know what, you already copied the save file. It's fine. Now the funny thing is this story actually starts off not too dissimilar from, I want to say Film Z, actually. I'm just saying the way you say it.
That's the Japanese way you pronounce the letter Z.
Yeah.
Also, in the dub, they pronounce his name as Zed.
Yeah. So, wait, really? Oh, yeah, that's right. I still just say Film Z just for, Americanism and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Marines are getting their ass kicked by this one random guy passing through.
I was going to say, this feels a bit more like Strong World.
Oh, yeah, no, I think the wording was Strong World, but we eventually get some stuff a little bit more akin to Film Z throughout this.
He was an admiral or something?
He was a pirate on par with Whitebeard. He's someone that's equivalent basically to one of the emperors.
Oh.
But he's aged and old, and as a result, not quite up there anymore.
Okay, so he is just Shiki the Golden Lion.
Yeah, more or less. Now, I didn't think there was going to be much of this because, typically speaking, unlimited games tend to retread a lot of usual story beats in the main series as it is. Like, we got evil Aokiji, don't just Aokiji, and we have evil Smoker. Did I say it now? Yeah, I'll just say it. You already know this game. They're clones made by this man.
Maybe scale your assets so that they don't clip terribly, so that it looks like his lip ring is going into his teeth. Yeah,
you guys can tell from the very usual funny pop-up of gameplay pause due to, or recording pause due to gameplay cutscenes. Yeah, this is a PS4 port of the game. You're obviously not going to get much out getting this to a PS5 Pro with the AI upscaling.
Which is something I don't have for the record yet, don't have.
How is the aloof an actual epithet? I don't know what that means.
Title. Epithet is a title.
Oh. port scaling clipping is to be expected. It's a 3DS game that got like a gazillion ports. So honestly, the fact that even it looks this good, I will actually take that.
So this game was originally released in 2013. Why are you putting cutscene blockers in a 2017 port?
Yeah,
the game was already old. There's nothing to spoil.
Yeah, the original game launched in 2013, and the PS3 port I think came in 2014 or 15.
PS3 2014,
yeah.
PS4 2017.
This was ported to console pretty goddamn quickly. Now, I actually have a theory about this. So, I think it's because they really want... This game originally launched with the 3DS. I am convinced they really want to take advantage of like the multiplayer party aspect you can get out of a 3DS game. You'll see a lot of remnants of that with this game, funny enough.
Yep.
And you'll see a lot of like the anachronisms like carry over because of that. Additionally, I had this theory that it got the port, like it was ported to literally every other console because it was originally... What's going on? Oh yeah. The 3DS sold like dog shit out the gate. So I thought that was done.
That was only in the first year.
Exactly. So I thought it was to subsidize that, but then I realized, oh wait, no. It would have, if this game dropped in 2013, then that would have meant that the sale they would have been well to the production anyway. So they wouldn't have been able to account for that anyway. So
yeah,
I'm
this
not
would have
sure.
been well after the boost they got from Mario Kart 7, the Mario Land,
yeah,
Pokemon X and Y, and Fire Emblem Awakening. So yeah, no, the 3DS was already doing well to that point.
Yeah. Now, also, I want to say that there's gonna be a couple characters that are new for this. Again, this is normal. It's so weird to jump to the 60.
Yeah, tell me about it.
That being said, though, while I absolutely do love this, the cell shading, the lighting is very artificial on the characters and very emblematic that this is a 3DS game.
Never mind. Maybe the fact that I played this on a PS3 on like an 18-inch screen hid very well the fact that this game might actually be ugly in person.
I think if you take the TV off of gaming mode, I actually think it might look better if you actually reduce the saturation. I'm actually not kidding about that.
You mean put it into game mode?
Oh yeah, take it out of Vivid. I think that might actually help a bit. Maybe like game optimizer? Actually, yeah, it does look a bit better. I think it's ironically too blown out.
I mean, it was like that already.
Yeah. I also had a funny realization while I was going through this game originally.
Oh, wait, no, this game does suck. It does suck the life out of the Unlimited series. In the first 3 games, whenever the game started, it started with a cutscene of Nami giving everyone new costumes that looked cool and originally made for the games.
Ah, yeah,
now they're
right.
just wearing their regular, already worn-out outfits. No, this game sucks.
Alrighty. Chopper's going alone. Well, time to get kidnapped. Yes, but not just him. Everyone involved is about to be abducted a little bit.
Trans rights.
Trans rights. Anyway, so our main port here is going to be Transtown, which I think you could obviously assume to be Transportation Town, but no, it's a play on Transylvania since our main character or our main antagonist will be turning into a vampire later on, which is going to be very funny given the existence of Stuzzy later on with the actual vampire fruit. Susie, yeah. Sorry, I've not gotten to that point yet. By the by, I've been making really good progress in Fishman Island. This game.
I'm sorry for you.
I don't know, right? This game is so long that I'll probably actually be done with it before the end of this. Now,
God,
hey,
it does feel weird to have the 60.
This is a different looking Luffy than what we just had. Well, that's because, again, this is an artifact of going through New Game Plus. First of all, let us find the person involved in this.
This is Poor Man Spider-Man PS4.
Oop.
Which is to say the Spider-Man GameCube game.
Yep. All right, so that being said, I do find some good charm in the overworld. While completely needless, obviously, I will definitely say that.
Ugh.
Yeah, unfortunately, we take the Zelda mannerisms a little bit too literally here because the guys here literally look like all could be creepy mask salesmen from Majora's Mask. Actually, a lot of them do look just like that.
I was going to say, yeah, I've seen this character before in Twilight Princess.
I know, right? I feel like he maybe played some mini games in Ocarina of Time, actually. If I had to pull up examples, I could probably go find it. But anyway, we need to go find our innkeeper in order to find a place to crash for tonight. I love these generic ass. I'm starting to realize something I actually do like for these One Piece games in the HD era, though. I love the different takes that the different companies have with generics. Hi, Yadia, who simultaneously has a very hilariously old Lumina design for being like 20.
I mentioned this the last time I sat down to watch you play it, but why is your landlady for this game, literally Ritsuko Akizuki from the original Idolmaster series. I will send you some references. If you ask, please put pictures in.
I'll definitely try to. All right, so one thing that's different about New Game Plus here, these pacifists are not here.
Not there.
They are not here originally.
Those would not be there.
Yeah, now obviously I've been doing some grinding with Luffy to get him some levels in order to counteract this a little bit. Also, the game's still not inherently that hard, but there is some depth to be had here. First of all, because this is a 3DS game, there's a pretty overpowered dodging mechanic just done by just pressing the circle button. You may remember a little thing called Metroid Samus Returns, where
that came out way later.
The counter button there is insanely powerful. Yeah, it's kind of similar to how it is here, where we have a handheld game where they made, because of the limited gameplay that you're able to implement. Yeah, there's like one option that's just completely overpowered like crazy. All right, that one's down. This is almost over, so I'm not going to go over a lot of the gameplay changes just yet, but gameplay elements just yet. But just know it's kind of your standard. This game doesn't know if it wants to be an adventure game or a beat 'em up sometimes. It's really trying to lean more. It's usually the series is more adventure based, but here it's really leaning towards the beat 'em up aspects.
This game is just a beat 'em up. There are none of the original RPG elements. There are none, because the first 3 games, they're not. They have beat 'em up gameplay, but they're Zelda games. You gather items, you gather materials, you craft items to open doors or blow down walls or go across islands, what have you. Means of transportation, means of breaking down barriers to get to new areas.
Oh, Alex, it's not even just dodge roll invincibility. It's literally you press circle when the game prompts you to. You become basically invincible if a game throws an attack at you. And I will say New Game Plus does reduce the window it's visible, so you actually do need to be paying attention when you're in combat. Regular gameplay, nah, it's super easy. I just love the absolute like vagueness of these cutscenes where they're just acting innocuous. It's like, yeah, they're definitely maybe doing something evil, question mark.
This is during the most vapid period in all of One Piece, the 3 years that Dressrosa ran for, which every game had to have either that content in it or be in some way based around it, and because it was incomplete, that means they had nothing to do and were boring as shit and just retreaded existing plot beats. Also, one of the reasons why this game sucks is all 3 of the previous games had bespoke original areas. You weren't just going through, hey, I'm in Alabasta, then I'm in Benny's Lobby, then I'm in Punk Hazard, or what have you. You fought the existing characters as bosses, but you were going through wholly original and unique areas.
Hey, is your voice doing all right? You sounds like it's cracking a little bit.
I don't think so.
It just sounds a little bit raspy to me, but maybe it's just the way I'm hearing it right now. But no, I definitely agree. I was going to make that comment earlier, actually, before we ended the cutscene. One thing I realized is that there's like something like 4, no, not sounds okay audio-wise. I mean, like it sounds like his voice is cracking a little bit. So what's funny is that I realized there's like 4 some odd, probably 5 games that dropped during the Dressrosa arc. And as a result, we have like 5 games that have Dressrosa related content in them. This game, Burning Blood, Pirate Warriors 3, Great Pirate Coliseum. Sorry, the name is confusing.
Grand Battle X.
And yeah, Gigant Battle X, I think is the name.
Grand Battle X.
Yeah.
Gigant Battle are DS games that go up through Fishman Island.
Yeah, well, I know that. Sorry, I'm becoming more familiar with the 3DS library by the day. I'm realizing.
Those are original DS games. One of them is Marineford. The other one is Fishman Island. They're 2D fighting games. I've heard they're actually pretty all right.
So, it sounds like our crew got kidnapped, so we'll have to definitely do something about this. The landlord is built like a Rayleigh?
No.
No, not. Is it because of the curls or the hair? Oh, we're talking about Rayleigh from Dragon Ball? I don't really see it.
From Dragon Ball.
That's the only one I could think of.
Dr. Slump?
Maybe? I'm not entirely sure, actually. So, I'll give you a quick rundown of Traverse Town. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
No, you're right. No, you're exactly right.
I'm not wrong. Okay, so I'll give you a brief run about Trans Rights Town. So, basically, it's your central hub of the game, more or less. If you press start, you're able to pull up a massive screen of it, more or less. I like how the very funny money count I had from my prior run actually carried over. I did not intend for that to happen.
Delightful.
Hell yeah. So, basically, the gist of this town, you're able to run around, interact with some NPCs.
Go back and look at those kids.
Oh, the one left here.
No, the one before him, the one down the stairs.
Yeah. No, not him. Not this guy.
He went down the other stairs to your right.
Is it this one? He's a balloon. That is just a balloon. Anyway.
Okay,
so,
you know what? Maybe the people that said that Oda's art style are ugly have a point.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I'm going to race to this point before I lose it again. So Trans Town basically is your central hub that you're able to wander around in, and allows you to build shops, which allow you to purchase more things to use on your quests and whatnot. There is an element of RPG to this game, and while it is pretty neat, I have some major gripes with it that make it just not worth it whatsoever in my book. Unless there's some hidden niche of the player base that still exists out there. There's 11 people watching this game already on Twitch. That's kind of wild for me to think, actually. I don't think it's really worth it to invest in this game, but the story itself, I think, is relatively harmless and kind of an alright time, sorta, kinda. Now, the issue is the gameplay loop.
One Piece is not built for a town builder simulator. Mother Base, you are not.
I think it could be there, but the issue is, okay, even like over here, got some butterflies. These, I think, are mostly RNG like appearances.
That's a mechanic from the original games.
That you need a net in order to catch. But
yes, that's a mechanic from the original games. You had a net, and you actually played a mini game to catch butterflies and other insects. You could fish, things like that.
Yeah. So it's really cool. But you gather all these materials. And it's like, well, what do you do with them now? You're able to make shops and buy stuff. Okay. Where is that going? There's not much in the way of actually unlockable content in this game. I think that's probably the biggest issue with it in my book. There's no real end game aside from doing hard missions for doing all these set missions, and that kind of disappoints me a great degree.
Isn't it just to build a bridge to the other side of the same island so that way you can go to the other exit to go to later levels?
It's not a different exit. It's literally just to expand the town. And there's a deliberate roadblock in chapter 3 that keeps you from going on until that is actually constructed.